If you find the video you're about to watch interesting or informative and you feel like I've earned your subscription, please subscribe, hit the notification bell and share this video to social media, because that helps me stay competitive with the big multinational corporations such as CNN that YouTube is choosing to prioritize. Thank you and enjoy the video.
Why is she under arrest? Why is she under arrest? Take that picture, please, immediately. Why is she under arrest? Come on. Honey, calm down, I'll get help. That is absolutely.
Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hotcast. Okay, where do I start? This is going to be quite a dark video in which we are going to watch some of the latest developments regarding the current situation the Western world finds us in which our rights are being completely stripped away, and in the end the people who are actually the victors in all of this are the people who kick-started, either advertently or inadvertently, the current pandemic situation we find ourselves in, namely China. And what do I mean by that? Well, they have gone largely back to normal, and I mean normal in terms of Chinese normal. I know normal isn't something that we all share, it's not objective, it's subjective, but the Chinese system, the CCP, and their form of governance has gone back to normal in China. However, here in the Western world, we are far from normal. No, instead, we are adopting a much more Chinese-orientated way of life, and it's happened in the blink of an eye. What do I mean by that? I mean that people with dissenting opinions are now not only disappearing from the internet, which is where this first started, but now they are disappearing from the streets too. And I'm going to show you two clips from Australia, and we're going to dissect those clips, and I'm going to say it's probably going to get your blood boiling. You're going to see the first one with a woman who was protesting, which is a right enshrined in law. She was on her own, well, she was with her son, but other than that she was on her own, and she was arrested simply for walking down the street protesting, for having opinions that the C virus police do not want you to have. And another one from Australia in which this time it's a man, and he's getting the same treatment for exactly the same way, exactly the same situation. The only good or positive outcome from all of this is that in both cases you're seeing the general public slowly waking up to the fact that this just isn't right. I'm hoping that the sheeple are starting to wake up. So with that out of the way, sorry for the long intro, let's get the first clip rolling.
Yeah, I am back. For his own protection, I'm taking a video. For his own, I don't know the gentleman, but for his own protection, he's got kids there. So I think for his own protection, I need to take a video as a citizen.
Please move on.
For his own protection, I'm taking a video, man.
I'm videoing, so it's fine.
Well, you're not video facing me. You're not video.
Everyone else is videoing as well.
Yeah, that's
Thank you. You've already said you want to move on.
Yeah, I am going to move on.
Now.
Look at this. Look at this. Με παιδί. Παίρνει το παιδί.
Oh my God! Fuck off! Dickheads! Oh my God! Fuck off! Stupid dickhead! He's got ADHD. He's gonna keep on.
Guys, look at these kids. Oh, look at these kids.
Yeah, and they want to keep it safe, so they're trying to keep them
Actually, I'm only noticing now there's two kids. God. I think I could only see the first one there first.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Look at that.
That is disgusting. That is disgusting. Look at that pig just on the floor and it's tantalised to take away from it. That is absolute foul. I'm shaking. That is... Honey, please, calm down. Honey, please.
That's the line.
Just go and look after your kids. Go and look after your kids. There's not much you can do here.
It's alright, honey! Honey, calm down! Honey! Babe! Don't resist! Honey, calm down, please! Please, calm down! Honey! Calm down! My children are with my friend. I asked them to get them away from here. Honey, calm down, okay? Honey! Don't swear! Calm down! Please, babe! Calm down, honey!
Trust the police.
Babe! Remember what I said!
Oh, yeah.
Breathe! Calm down! You haven't done wrong, okay? Calm down! He was with me, he's my partner, man! He's only here because I asked him to come to walk our kids! Honey! Honey! Honey, calm down! Calm down, I'll get home! That is absolutely... Fuck you! Dickheads!
Okay, so a few valid points that need to be made over the image that, the video that you just watched there. And of course, the biggest thing that I took away from that, apart from the fact that the poor man was having his rights trampled upon, and of course that he was separated from his son and the child must be terrified. In fact, as you saw later in the video, it was determined that there's actually two children in that buggy, one behind the other. So apart from those two big glaring issues that you could take away from that, the obvious thing to me is that, as you saw at the end, people are starting to turn. The tide is starting to turn. We are just not used to this level of tyranny in the West. You have to ask yourself, is doing this, what they're doing, is it really protecting the public? What are you protecting them against? People are so hyper-focused on the current pandemic that they're forgetting everything else. Humans generally lead by example, and we are constantly being told that we must social distance, we must wear masks, etc, etc. Now, yes, of course, there are some police officers who, as you saw in the clip, were wearing masks, but the majority simply don't. They don't social distance. So slowly but surely, people are asking themselves, are we having one giant, not con, I know there are people out there who say that the current pandemic is not, when it is real. Of course it's real. There is a pandemic at the moment. Yes, there is. But is it as bad as has been made out? You could argue most certainly not, because the figures are being inflated. But that's digressing to a different subject. The point of the matter is the current pandemic that we are going through at the moment bad enough that our entire civil liberties enshrined in laws going back hundreds of years worth throwing into the dumpster over? And I, like the man you saw, and like the woman you're about to see, and many others for that matter, say no. Not only that, there's nothing worse than busybodies who swear blindly to authority. You must submit to authority. Whatever the man or the woman in the high visibility jacket says goes. That's not how Western society works. That is how China works. That is how the Chinese system of government works. You swear fealty to authority, and what authority says goes. And of course they do not abide by their own diktats and needlessly authoritarian and draconian bylaws, which keep getting added to the statute books as every day goes by. And also, the fact that we are doing this just proves my point that the Chinese style of governance is winning the day. The people and the place where this whole thing originally started are, of course, winning the day, and I always knew they would. Why did I know they would? Because the West is going to West.
You're committing an offence. Do you understand? I'm not being detained. I'm free to go. I am asking for your name because I do believe you're committing an offence. Do you understand that?
I'm not committing a crime. I'm being detained.
I understand.
Am I being detained?
No. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for. I hope that you're all here supporting and caring for us. Maybe you guys can carry a sign too. I'd love to. Okay. I am going to be asking permission for rescue. Okay. I may not be consent. I understand.
You guys are good people deep down.
So, have a beautiful day.
Sadly, you have to do this.
Thanks very much. It is, because it's our right.
They're doing their jobs and look what they have to do.
Yeah, I have to. We're 6 and this is what I'm teaching them. I go to sleep with honour at the end of the night. With honour knowing that I've defended my rights. I'm here fighting for not just myself and my kids, but for your children too.
That's right.
So, thanks guys. Have a good day. I'm going to keep walking. My son's with me. I am not under arrest. Why is she under arrest? You need to get your hands on her.
Can you grab the dust? Can you grab the picture, please? Immediately. Why is she under arrest? Why is she under arrest? Why is she under arrest? Why? Why is she under arrest?
He needs to be with his mother.
Why just say that? I'm listening to you.
Give me the kid. Give me the kid. Give me the kid, please. You'll feel safer with me. Can I just have the kid?
The kid is not going to feel safer with
Give the kid to somebody, please.
No.
Just give it to somebody.
Look, we can't just give it to any
Guys,
random
look what this represents to the child.
You're taking his child. Yeah, he'll be coming back with us. This is what you signed up for?
The job of the police is to protect and serve. Now you tell me how on God's earth the police that you just saw were protecting or serving anyone, because they weren't, were they? Let's be honest, they weren't protecting or serving anyone. Or, well, you never know, maybe they are serving someone, but it's not certainly not the public. They're not serving the public with what they're doing. They're not protecting the public with what they're doing. Where has the ability in police officers gone to use discretion, to think? Where's common sense gone? And in the end, we get back to my original point I was making in this video, and this meme highlights it perfectly. Now, at the moment, we are having a situation in the West where memes are trying to be clamped down upon. The powers that be are really trying to get down on memes and meme lords in general. This meme highlights exactly where the left-wing liberal media is in the West. I'm running a risk of being depersoned myself just talking about this, as you well know. And as you can see by the meme, we have the you-know-what criticism flying like nails and rockets and knives and just fire in general. You have the liberal media, which is taking all the flack and protecting a China which is sleeping soundly in bed. And that is exactly what my original point was. As the West descends into fire and chaos, our civil liberties being stripped away, China, where it all originated, sleeps soundly at night in their bed. because they've already gone back to normal, their version of normal, what's normal for China. And what's normal for China is completely different to what we experience here in the West. In China, authority is king. You don't have any civil liberties that the powers that be deem you don't. If the powers that be tell you you have a specific human right today, they could come along and strip it from you tomorrow, and there's nothing you can do. We are also seem to be implementing a form of the social credit system, which we're seeing being rolled out in China as well. You know this yourself. If you're the type of person who has quote unquote unpopular opinions, just like I do, if you're a conservative, a legit conservative, not one of these fake neocons, if you're a patriot, a nationalist, you don't score very high on the social credit system. You know this. You don't need me to tell you this. I don't know what the world's coming to, ladies and gentlemen, but I sincerely hope that things will return to normal soon enough. Not this new normal that the Hollywood elite, the globalists are encouraging us to go down. I think we should stand against this en masse in any way we can. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you feel like I've earned your subscription. Certainly turn on the notifications if you have, but the best thing you can do to help us stay competitive against the big multinational corporations that YouTube has chosen to prioritize is by sharing this video on social media. Social media I'm currently banned from. I'm banned from Facebook at the moment for 30 days for, you guessed it, having an unpopular opinion. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.